Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Golf Shop TV. I'm Jeff Harrison, and my great host is
I'm Amy Anderson.
Amy. It was a great week last week. A lot of things happening, and you know, I know we're going to talk about it, but you know, we're kind of on a Rory watch. But let's talk about last week. How did it all wrap up last week?
Well, I guess the nice thing to say is Luke Donald's #1 again. Great win at the Volvo Masters last week.
What a gracious winner. You know, he just looks so composed, doesn't he? I mean, he just hit shot, and you're like, you know, it's okay, no big. It was fabulous.
You know, and it's refreshing to listen to him rather than the media. He's like, you know what? Okay, Rory, he'll get back on track. It's not a major. You know, everyone's going, he's in a slump. My God, he's 23 years old, and he just missed, you know, a couple cuts.
Well, you know, it's pretty big. I was thinking about that, and you know, he's missed these 2 cuts in a row, and they were talking about that with like Mickelson, and he's missed like 30 cuts in his his career, and that's why Tiger's such a big deal, because he's missed 7 cuts in his career.
Wow.
I mean, that's pretty amazing. And so when you talk, it's really challenging, I think, to truly compare anybody coming on the scene with somebody like Tiger's record. Just like it was tough to compare against Nicklaus or Hogan until you actually had some seasoning. But, you know, he's missed 2 in a row, so, I mean, let's see what happens this week.
Well, yeah, and I think he's back on track. I mean, he made the comment, okay, he's been globe-trotting, and he's been having fun with his girlfriend, and I don't know if he's been that focused, but he's signed up to play next week at the St. Jude. You know, and he never plays the week before a major, so we'll see. I think, you know, it was a, how do I say it nicely, kind of a good kick in the butt.
Well, you know, he's been traveling with his swing coach, I understand, and which is kind of unusual. And I saw him on TV this morning, and you know, they were really technical out there. And you know, he starts off with a par, and I think on the 2nd or 3rd hole, the par 3 on the back 9, he started on 10. He made a quad. He made a 7 right out of the boat.
Oh, geez.
So he goes from even to 4 over par. So, you know, like I said, it's a Rory watch. Let's see what happens. I mean, is he going to be able to turn that around? You know, I think a lot of things that people don't realize, Amy, is the fact he moves the ball quite a bit from right to left. And, you know, the key is, I think, being a great player, as you know, is saying, hey, eliminate 1/2 of the golf course. Well, when you're turning the ball right to left, you're kind of eliminating the right side of the golf course. Well, all of a sudden, when it's not turning right to left, you're bringing in both sides. And that's, I don't care who you are, an amateur, professional, at the very highest level, it makes it confusing. Hey, where's my ball going to go?
Yeah, and you know, this week at Muirfield, that's going to be difficult. That's a tough track.
Yeah, it's got his teeth out.
Yeah, but another good story last weekend was Zach Johnson.
Oh, geez, well, how good is that?
I know, congratulations to him.
One for the older guys.
I know, it was fun watching him. What a great ball striker. Unfortunate at the end that he had that little miscue where he forgot to move his ball mark back after he moved it for Duffner.
Yeah, what's that all about? I mean, you know, so there's a penalty there, right?
Well, it was a 2-shot penalty, finished play, and I guess they noticed that he had moved his ball mark for Jason Duffner and then forgot to move it back. So if he had gone in and signed that scorecard, watch out, he would have been DQ'd.
Oh, that would have been a drag, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would have been a great week for Jason, but I don't think he would have wanted to win that way.
No, I wouldn't have wanted to win that way. Hey, and a great week for you. We actually, last week we talked about Marrakesh. And then last weekend you got the chance to play there. Yeah,
you know, we were out there almost on a weekly basis with our golf team and the kids from the first tee. And it was the first time I actually got to play the entire golf course. And, you know, I tell you what, that was a blast. It was, you know, Amy, it was so much fun because it wasn't that, I'm going to say, that demanding, stressful round sometimes where it's like, you know, you got a 575-yard par 5 or 430-yard par 4. It was just really a lot of fun. The golf course is in great shape.
Well, good, good. Now, you played with a friend who's not, you know, a scratch golfer. How did he enjoy it?
Oh, he scratched it. Like, did you see my ball? No, I'm just kidding. Steve, my friend from Vegas, and we went out there and played, and you know, he had a great time because, again, it wasn't so demanding. It was like, you know, it's a series of a lot of par 3s and a few par 4s, more on the back 9. And, you know, it made it where, you know, a big score was like a 6 for him. So it was a lot of fun. He had a great time.
And I've played with him. He's not super long, so, you know, your average golfer, it's an enjoyable track.
Yeah.
You know, we talk a lot about how it's good for ladies, the juniors, folks that are maybe a little bit older, but you know, men enjoy it too, right?
Oh, I teed up there again. You know, those greens, it was funny. I was talking to Loretta, one of the golf professionals there, and she said, well, you know, the greens are a little slower. I'm like, okay. They were still 10.
Oh, geez.
You know, they didn't have that in-season look because of transition from Ride to Bermuda. But I'll tell you what, they didn't bounce, they didn't bump. It was smooth as glass, Amy. It was a lot of fun. So.
And I think, I've never played there one of these days. But it's not. It doesn't take all day to play. It's not like a 4.5-hour round. Probably 3 hours.
3 hours tops, and we dinked around a little bit. And we stopped and had lunch, and we're home, and we didn't have. Our wives were like, "God, you guys are home early," and we took another hour for lunch. So it was really kind of
nice,
fun.
very fun. Well, we have a good show today. We're going to cover several different topics.
I'm looking forward to it. Let's get started. Let's do a little wrap up for what's going on with golf coming up. Well, welcome back to the Global Golf Report and Recap. I'm honored to be sitting in this chair because Amy is our statistician. She covers the world of golf like a net. So, Amy, I'll jump in from time to time, but tell us what the viewers can kind of expect this week on each one of the tours.
Well, it's a good weekend this weekend. Good TV watching. The LPGA's back in action. They've been off for a while, and they're at the ShopRite Classic. And that's in New Jersey.
It should be a pretty good field again, Amy.
Yeah, great field. 21 of the top 24 golfers in the world will be there. So, yeah, it should be really exciting to watch. Brittany Lincecum was the winner last year. She'll be back. So, it's unfortunate there's so few LPGA Tour events that, each week's a strong field when they do play.
What's it gonna take, Amy? I mean, I know this is a whole nother discussion, but just curious, what do you think it's gonna take for the LPGA to really, I don't even want to say reestablish, but really get established and say, hey, you know what, there's 30, 35 events a year for sure instead of 23 or whatever the number is. I mean, I know it's low because it's been a few weeks since they teed it up.
Well, the sad thing is, you would say, oh, if there weren't any bright, cute Americans playing, but boy, it's just full of great American golfers. The interesting thing, I hear it all the time on the lesson tee and from my husband is, it's fun to watch them because I can relate. Like you said, they don't bust the ball 300 yards. They hit that 230-yard drive.
Well, it's funny. When I was a head professional at Mission Hills, we used to hear that all the time because that's where the craft is held at one of the majors. And, that's what our members would say. The people who stayed there and watched it, they loved it because it was relatable. There's like, they weren't hitting a sand wedge 180 yards. Yeah. They were hitting a sand wedge of 75 to 90 yards or 100 yards, and it was kind of, like I said, it was very relatable. And so it wasn't like watching this animated version of golf that there's no way they could play. So I think that maybe they meaning like the Michael Wands and the LPGA in general. I think maybe they should think about capitalizing on that. That it relates more to the average golfer.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the tour goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the Nationwide this week is in Raleigh, so.
What kind of superstars should be looking for, out of the Nationwide that, be in that top 25 at the end? Anybody really stand out in your mind?
Well, I like Cameron Percy. Now he just seems to get the bad end of the straw. Let's see, last playoff he got into a playoff because someone hit a ball off a camera and it landed on the green and he made the birdie putt. He got knocked out by a hole-in-one. I don't know, maybe it's his week. You never know. You never know. And the PGA this week is at the Memorial.
Wow.
Muirfield Village. What a great track.
Tiger's back.
Tiger is back. We'll see how he does. Now, did you see his little interview? Oh, geez, kind of scared me.
This is a guest hummingbird on the, wow, that got close. That was kind of cool. It's all live here at the Golf Shop TV. It's taped live. So, hey, I'm sorry, you were saying about the, what was it, the Memorial?
About Tiger, did you see his interview?
I didn't. We've been so busy with a new project we have coming on. We'll tell you a little bit about that later. But, I can't wait to watch a little bit more of this. I'm going to call it the Tiger Chats. I think it's a brilliant idea.
I really enjoy it. He talked about how he marks his ball and how he wouldn't make the mistake Zach Johnson made. Talked about how he's working on his swing to eliminate issues that are going on with his knees to get rid of the pain. Talked about Rory. I mean, he's a good guy. It's just fun listening to him.
Well, I just wonder, since you saw that, do you enjoy that more than a media interview?
I do.
Or is it just two different arenas,
I think it's what it's like if you were talking to Tiger at the, at a table after a round of golf. Sometimes when the media interviews him, he's so irritated because they ask some of the stupidest questions. It's just what we want to hear.
Well, you know, it reminds me of the induction yesterday with Nicholas introducing Watson, and somebody asked him a question about a particular tournament. He says, "You've asked me that question over the year 1,000 times. There's nothing more I can say about it. Move on." Now, you know, when Mr. Nicholas says that, they move on. When Tiger says that or Rory says that, they keep digging into it. And it's like, respect the fact that we as the viewing public already know that answer. We've already been down that road. What else could they say? And I think by this, I'm going to call it very personal, insightful type of moment with Tiger, I think it's brilliant. I mean, let me ask you something, Amy, because I know, you know, there was a point when Tiger went sideways that, you know, he kind of fell out with you. You know, you respected his ability. Obviously, no one liked what he really did personally.
Right.
But is this an image building opportunity, you think?
I think it's a great image building opportunity. I mean, what a great way to get to know somebody.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the media have knocked him doing the interviews this way, but I think it's brilliant.
Well, I think it's because, hey, you know, it kind of steals their thunder. Nobody likes to have their thunder stolen. It's almost like, you know, we're out playing and I hit it 4 feet and you hit it a foot, and my birdie is, you know, for a team, my birdie's dead. And but we have to remember, you hit a great shot. Yeah. And I think you can do both. I kind of envision that the media will start taking clips from his interview, or his one-on-one, if you will, his Tiger chat, and start using that to fill some of the void. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I hope they do. Now, one thing I thought was interesting this week was Jack Nicklaus said he sat next to Tiger at the Masters dinner, and he actually flat out said, "Why do you listen to Sean Foley? Why do you listen to him so much?" And Tiger got a little defensive and said, "I don't. You know, he gives me ideas, but I work on my swing," which I thought that was an interesting little conversation, because Jack was kind of adamant about how, hey, nobody messes with my swing. I might get pointers from somebody, but I'm in control. And Tiger's like, "Well, that's what I do. That's what I do." I can just imagine it's like father and son. "I'm sorry, Dad. I don't do that. I don't do that."
Yeah, I think when Mr. Nicholas talks, even Tiger's going to listen. Yeah, that's cool. So, you know, I wanted to mention real quickly, you know, we have another project we're doing. It's called My City Business Review. And what we do, you know, is we go out and we talk to businesses all over the, you know, in our area valley. We're growing this, and it's exciting time. And check us out. It's called My City Business Review. I don't want to turn this into a long, drawn-out commercial, although I could. Not going to. Just want to tell you, hey, visit the site. It's growing. We're brand new. It's been a lot of hard work. Amy has put in a ton of work. And it's just, we're excited about it. And, you know, it's going to help us strengthen what we do here. And just join us out there. Now, we have some fun things coming up. I'm going to do a Fairway Executive segment. And, you know, we talk about the economy, Amy, and more people are stepping out of that I work for somebody role into I work for myself and starting my own business. We're experiencing that ourselves. We've been independent contractors as teaching professionals for quite some time, and it is a different mindset. And so the segment is called
How Big Is Your Butt?
In other words, what's holding you back? So I hope you enjoy this, and we'll catch you on the other side. Hi, welcome back. I'm Jeff Harrison with Fairway Executive. Today I want to talk about something I think is, well, quite interesting. It holds a lot of us back. And what I want to call it is, how big is your butt? And what I mean by that, now don't go down the wrong direction. What I mean is, hey, I'd like to do that, but, and you fill in the blank. You're not tall enough. You're not smart enough. You don't have enough money. You don't have enough time. You're not smart enough. What's holding you back? How big is your butt? Well, we see that a lot of times. Imagine all the things that probably wouldn't have happened if we let this hold us up. Now, I'm going to share a personal story, and hopefully it will help inspire you to get past your butt and get to your I am doing it. About 2 years ago, I started on this journey of learning how to share information like we're doing right now. And my goal was to send it to you, and it was a different product. And I ran into some folks who were supposed to be experts at online communication and delivering content. And when I told them what I wanted to do, they thought, oh, that's a great idea, except it can't be done because of this, and this. It was going to be incredibly expensive, and there wasn't enough time, and there wasn't enough money. And I said, you know what, I'm just not going to give up on this. I'm going to get past this. So I had someone in my life that said, you know what, it's a great idea, but. It's a great idea, but. Well, now, 2 years later, I have a dear friend whose name is Amy Anderson, is my partner in my business called Swing Point Media. And we have created content specifically for the golf industry, and it covers things like, swing tips, golf course reviews, product reviews. It covers etiquette moments, which we've done over 100 plus of those videos, and they're short little vignettes. And it's our way of saying, hey, there's a lot about the game that we would like to express to other people, but we don't get it done. So I'm at that point now. I want to do this, but I'm at a but in my life again, and the but is the people that I think would love and benefit it the most are not aware of it. They're not aware that that this technology exists, and they can take their business and their knowledge that they have to a whole different plane. So my goal now is to get out there and share and educate you as the golf professionals and business industry, because it's not just for golf business, it's about for all industries, about saying, hey, you know what, I can create my own content, customized, or I can help you create your own content, customize it, get it out there, and let's get past your butt. And let's take your business and your personal actions to a whole new level. So, how big is your butt? Is it holding you back? Take your butt and turn it into an opportunity. Butt stops a lot of people. We forget about that. We forget about people who almost invented something, or almost won a race, or almost this. Something held them back. I'm Jeff Harrison for Fairway Executive, and how big is your butt? Hey, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that segment. Let's do a little update, Amy. We're doing a little Rory Watch, and Tiger's out there playing. There's a lot of cool people playing in Memorial. Give us a little update on what's going on right now.
Well, first of all, this week, Bubba's back in action. Welcome back, Bubba.
Go Bubba.
So it'll be interesting to see how he attacks this track. Muirfield Village, boy, tough course. You have to hit shot after shot. You have to be spot on. There's no messing around on this course.
Yeah, I don't think it's one of those you just hit it as far as you can and try to get out of the rough.
Yeah, typical Nicklaus design. So probably some of the best par fives in the world.
That's cool.
So anyways, Bubba's back. Dustin Johnson's back in action.
He's been out for a while.
Yeah, he has. And who knows what the story is there. There's lots of rumors, but some sort of injury, or who knows.
I don't know if it was to his ego or physically, but welcome back, Dustin.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch him. And Freddie, Freddie Couples.
Freddie Couples, yes. Freddie.
He's there this week. And cool thing was he just got named assistant to Davis Love for the Ryder Cup.
How cool is that? Now, what's that mean in the future, probably, Amy?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, you kind of see somebody, it's like, okay, if you're the vice president, you're eventually going to run for presidency.
Yeah, no, he's definitely, I think he's going to be the Ryder Cup captain in 2014. I really do.
Wow. Looking forward to that. But this ought to be a really, really neat combination. I've known each other for years. Davis Love seems to be a cool character, but intense.
Yep.
And we all know Freddie, no definition or description needed. I think it's going to be a great Ryder Cup.
And he's a great captain. I think the guys really perform under him. So, anyways, Freddie's paired up with Tiger this week, which I think that's great for Tiger. I think Tiger's going to first of all enjoy himself. I know he's, I believe, 1 under right now. I think they're through 6 holes.
Yeah.
So, and how about Rory? You saw him tee off this morning.
Yeah, and he, right out of the chute, if you will, in the first couple of holes. I mean, the par 3 he makes a quad.
Oh, jeez.
And so he's fighting back. What is he now?
Now he's 2 under par.
2 under. Or
I mean 2 over
yeah,
par.
Okay,
so he got 2 shots back.
Okay, so he's scratching and clawing back in there. I still think there's going to be some, whenever you have somebody right there with you on the driving range, we see it when we work with our students, when we're right there, we're kind of like those training wheels. We keep them on track, but then they get out there and they get a little heat under there, and they tend to go back to some of the old habits. How good have they done to get rid of, fill in the good stuff so that the habits are minimalized, and I'm looking forward to it. I think this will be a great tournament when they're all in the hunt.
Yeah. Now we'll see how he does. He's getting ready for the U.S. Open. The U.S. Open's at Olympic Club, and boy, Tiger made an interesting comment yesterday, and I know you're going to like this one. He stopped by Olympic Club on his way to Muirfield. I'm not sure how that's in the route, but whatever. And he said, it's one of those courses I'm just not going to hit a lot of drivers at.
What?
We had the chance to play it last summer.
That's insane.
It's the longest course I think I've ever seen.
I mean, okay, so I won't hit drivers off the tee, but that means I'll be hitting them off the deck on every hole. You know, that golf course has changed dramatically. I remember the first time I played it probably 5 or 6 years ago, Amy. A lot more trees. It has a history of being soft fairways because, and they started pouring sand in the fairways to try to firm them up. But then they started removing trees, and I mean thousands of trees, and it changed the characteristics of that golf course tremendously. So when we played it, the trees were gone. The fairways were a little firmer, but that's something that's always difficult to do, is firm those fairways up, but they've gotten better.
The rain.
But now all of a sudden, you have wind on that golf course that they've never had before. And you know, you have fairways that go left to right, slope right to left, and it's, you know, 470 yard par 4.
Yep.
I
thought it was a tough track.
Now, was he talking about just on the par 3s he's not going to use a driver? Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it's going to be a good week. So we're getting, you know, we're ramping up for that. I'm excited. Golf's exciting these days.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm Jeff Harrison, my partner.
I'm Amy Anderson.
Make sure to catch us on thegolfshoptv.com. We're also on YouTube as well, and we have podcasts on iTunes.
Yeah, and check out our new website, mycitybusinessreview.com.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.